What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tapping in today's video. But before we get into the dark horse and GT500 content and what is the better car to buy, that's the reason y'all clicked on this video, because I do have the S650, the top dog, the dark horse sitting next to me, and I have the top dog of the S550, GT500, which both have been my top favorite cars of all time. But I wanted to get you guys, I wanted to talk to you guys personally and be 100% transparent of what is happening with the Shelby GT500. So, long story short, I came across a property that I could use for the channel. I could make videos, I could do all my stuff I wanted to, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And that's what I wanted more than anything in the world, because I want to separate myself and move up to the next level and be able to film content in a safe space, not have to worry about anything. I could do what I want, I could practice drifting, and I could just grow from there on out with that type of property. Therefore, it really, it's kind of still in the mix right now. I don't know if it's going to happen. If it's not, I'm still praying to God that it's going to happen, because it's going to be game changer. The content you guys are going to be seeing from there on out is going to be next level, top tier stuff. And it's obviously going to take me and the channel and all my boys around me, Derek and Brandon and Chuck. We're going to go to the next level with it. That's what I want. I want to make this my full-time thing, and I will do anything in my power to make that happen. So therefore, I listed the Shelby for sale, $95,000. Guy agreed. Cool, handshake, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He actually wanted the roof wrap, same as Apollo. So I said, you know what? I'll take the car, get it done for you. Just give me the money to pay for it, just so I know you're serious. Gave me like $500 or $600, whatever it was, to get the roof wrap, the PPF off, all that done. And the guy is now kind of dragging his feet, says he wanted a dark horse, says he wanted an Escalade. So I don't really care anymore. I'm not waiting. I'm not going to sit here and dilly-dally, because this is my car. This is the car I built. And yeah, I don't care anymore. So if I have to keep the car, I'll keep the car. If I have to sell the dark horse to make something happen for the property, I will do anything's necessary, because I will have to sacrifice something. So yeah, I mean, GT500 in the sense is still for sale, but at the same time, I'm not going to let it sit on the lift and collect dust, because it is mine at the end of the day, and the car is paid off, and that money would have went to the property. That's why I really needed to sell it. So I had to sacrifice one of my cars, and like I said, I wanted to use some of the other money to maybe boost Apollo, get some of that stuff going, just to make the channel grow and get better. But I wanted to give you guys that update in today's video. I'm sitting in a box right over there in the corner. I don't know if you guys could see it well enough, but that is the upgraded intercooler for Apollo with the upgraded blow-off valve in the box also. So Apollo will be going to the shop later in the week, and we will be installing boost for Apollo officially. And yeah, that's all I want to update you guys with. Thank you guys so much for tapping into this video. Let's fire up Apollo first. Apollo is probably still the best looking S550 on the internet. I don't care what anyone says. Fight me in the back of a Walmart parking lot. So Zeus was on the lift for about 3 months, I'm going to say. And, you know, I'm kind of a little pissed, because we did take the Italian flag off the roof, but it was kind of unique. But I'm not upset about the American. I did plan on doing that eventually to change it up for content-wise. Every single car of mine has the American theme. Zeus, Dark Horse, and Apollo. So, honestly, I love it at the end of the day. But you know what? If I have to keep this car, I don't care, because it is my car and I love it. And I've always wanted a Shelby GT500, and I've always wanted a Dark Horse, and I've always wanted a 10-speed. So these are obviously my dream cars, and I can't believe that I still own one. I was just looking back at my memories the other day of when I first had my first ever Mustang, and I was like, man, if I can have a truck and a Mustang at the same time, that's all I want. That would be it. That'd be legendary for me. Now I have my dream Raptor. Can't be more grateful for that. Now I have my 10-speed, I have a GT500, and I have the Dark Horse. Look, I'm getting goosebumps. It just doesn't feel real to me sometimes, and I just want to say, thank you all for actually tapping in and watching and being genuine people on the channel. So it means the world to me. And if we could take this to the next level, and if I had to sacrifice one of my cars, I would do anything for you guys to make that happen, because I know the content will be on the next level, and no one would be touching me at that point, because I would just have unlimited range of doing what I really want to do. All right, so check out the little American theme we added to the Dark Horse. A lot of people like that. I said A+ Automotive, Forest Hill, that's the wrap shop that did all the work for me. They also made the stickers for me, Stein Racing Division. And you know what? I said we might as well add one to Zeus. That's the only right thing to do. I had a few extra for me in case I see one of you guys out in public. I might be able to give you guys one if I have it in the car. But Stein Racing Division sticker, I put one on Zeus, and there's only 100 available. There might be, I really don't even know how many is left on the website. The website should have a counter. There's really probably not many left. left, but we just shipped like I think 30 or some of them out, and yeah, they're going out. The orders got messed up, so we did have to have extra ones made because so now there's going to be this size, which is the one I just showed you on the car, and now there is this size. So we do have some smaller ones too. So yeah, shout out A+ for that. But yeah, if you guys want it, they fit perfect. You can either put it up top like the Dark Horse or down here. I prefer down here. I think that looks sick. Also, up top is pretty cool with the third brake leg. At night, it does look pretty dope. All right, boys, Zeus is ready for the cold start, and time to take this thing out for a little spin. Alrighty, boys. Shelby GT500. Sweet baby Jesus. There's a lot to say, a lot to go over. Not gonna lie, I still love this car tremendously. Absolutely love it. So there's a lot of good things to say about the Shelby GT500. There really isn't much bad. And I know you guys know I love the Dark Horse to death, and that was the reason I wanted to make this video, is because GT500 or Dark Horse, there's a lot of good things to say, and one thing I want to say off the bat right about the Shelby GT500 is when you're cornering this thing, or if you're coming up to a corner and you least expect it to be like how fast should I take it, or downshift or upshift, it's not going to unsettle the car. This car at 1,000 horsepower, seatbelt locks up on you. She's rowdy. This is not no car to play around with on this power level on street tires. We are rocking Toyota 888Rs on the rear, but I must say, like I was saying, the DCT in this car is one of the things I love and I hate the most at the same time. And I want to tell you guys why I don't like it. I love it, but I don't like it in certain things. And the certain things I don't like it with is drag racing with this car. The drag racing, I think Ford obviously did it way better from the 13, 14 GT500 because those only came manual. And, you know, after learning how to really drive manual good with the Dark Horse, learning how to power shift, learning really how to race the car and drive it properly, I've really understood the reason why people wanted this car with the manual in it. They didn't want the DCT. And that was right off the rip. That was right from the beginning of when this car came out. A lot of people were mad that it didn't have the option for the manual. I must say, nowadays you can probably get a GT500 close to the same price as the Dark Horse. I mean, I told you guys before, my Dark Horse was $70,000. You really can't touch a GT500 for $70,000 unless you really find a one with like maybe 30, 40,000 miles, and it's a base one. It's like a base of a base. That's the only way you'll probably get one close to the price range of the Dark Horse. But other than that, you really don't need a Dark Horse that's option out $80-some thousand. Those guys who option those cars out that crazy, I really don't understand the point of that. I would simply never do that. Never, ever. I'm gonna tell you why the GT500 has a $100,000 price tag is because this 5.2 liter motor, the Predator engine, is capable of 1,300 horsepower. I've seen them hold it. They've held it for a while, and for a motor that comes literally with half the power it's capable of from the factory is pretty insane. And you guys know the car, Zeus, is making 1,026 right now to the rear wheels on the 85 with the 245 grip tech pulley. So it is a lot of car at 1,000 horsepower. But like I said, a lot of guys that have GTs are like, oh, my car is faster than the GT500. There's a lot of things that they don't understand about the GT500. This car at top speed is leaps and bounds so much more stable over any GT that's out. I don't care what suspension, what you put on it. It's not going to be as stable as the GT500. This car at 180, 190 miles an hour is planted. Like, it really doesn't give you that scary feeling. Most people to do 180, they're going to be absolutely terrified. But I've been in some cars where 180 miles an hour literally makes you feel like you're on the verge of death. In this car, I'm not gonna lie, I could sip on a sweet tea with an open lid and with ice in it and not have a single issue. And same goes for the Dark Horse. The Dark Horse is extremely stable and balanced. It almost feels a little more balanced than Zeus, my GT500. It just, there's something about this car. There's a lot more weight up front with the supercharger, the little bigger motor, and I don't know. I really don't know. I want to get both these cars on the scales to see how they are. I wish I had those weight distribution scales to see actually the true weight difference and the weight distribution on them, to see how much these cars actually weigh, because they feel different to me. So the reason you probably clicked on this video is you're in the market to buy a Mustang and you don't know whether to go GT500 or Dark Horse. I say right now in today's market, it is better to go GT500 than over the Dark Horse, unless there is a Dark Horse at the dealer that hasn't been marked up, because I don't know if you guys saw this, Ford raised the price of the S650s. I believe it was like $6,000 or $8,000. It was significantly a lot. It was a lot more than what it was. And like I said, my Dark Horse sticker was 69 or 68,000. Tax out the door was like 70, 71. So it really wasn't that bad of a car. Granted, it's NA, but it's more oriented for track racing, for more like road coursing and stuff like that. Downshifts though, DCT, money. So the 5.2 definitely gives off a deeper tone in my opinion over the Coyote. Granted, they're the same motor, dual overhead cam motor, but for some reason I feel like this car just has a deeper tone and has a very similar exhaust system to the Dark Horse. It's very, very different. I don't know. It's one thing you have to drive these cars and like really be inside of them and hear the tone difference. It could be because of the boost, and I think it has a lot to do with the blower on the car. It's just a very different fine noise, but it sounds good. They all sound unique in their own way. So I found some beautiful back roads to cruise on. Like I was saying, for the pricing of the cars, so right now the Shelby prices are down a bit. You can pick up a Shelby probably for like 80 to 85,000 with about 15,000 miles roughly, which is not a bad deal by any means, because you're getting a lot of car. You're getting a track weapon, a pretty much 9-second capable turnkey car that can do it no problem. It's capable of touching 200 miles an hour. It stops on a dime. The braking is massive on this car, absolutely massive. Can put anyone through the front windshield. You guys might be wondering, these are the premium seats out of my GT because this is what we agreed on to the new owner. He wanted the premium seats because he wanted to do the whole heated and cooled swap from this car, for this car to make it like a premium car, but this car came factory with the Recaro, so it didn't have the heated and cooled option. To some people, the GT500 will be a lot of car, and it is a lot of car for me. This car can get very, very dangerous on you very fast. This isn't something to play around with, especially at the power level it's sitting on street tires. But I must say, the capabilities of this car and the Dark Horse handling wise, I want to say they're neck and neck. I want to say the Dark Horse almost feels more balanced in the sense of the weight difference. I really think there is at least a 500-pound weight difference between the two cars. That's just what I feel from driving. I feel more confident going into a corner with the Dark Horse than over the Shelby. For some reason, I don't know why. It could just be the tires, maybe tire pressure. There's a lot of variables to it, but for some reason I just feel a lot more comfortable. Yeah, that's just the dual clutch for just road coursing and nice back road driving is top tier, and so is the manual. That you can't go wrong with either or. But I want to say, if you want to be probably the fastest and the most consistent, and that's going to last the longest for you, is probably the DCT over the manual. And obviously, you know, the DCT can handle a lot more boost than the manual transmission in the Dark Horse. But if you did want to go automatic in the Dark Horse, they do have the 10-speed option. And the point I want to make is the Dark Horse can be faster for the GT500 for a lot less money. But that's if you really care about the speed. Most people don't, and I really don't with these cars. I honestly feel like I'm playing a video game most of the time. But like I was saying, the Dark Horse, everyone's been throwing a Whipple on them, and I know I'm going to get the comments, oh Jake, it's not unlocked yet, you can't tune them, blah blah blah. Guys, just wait, it's coming, I promise you. Ford wants the aftermarket world to touch the Mustangs, and I know they do. I've heard it from the horse's mouth. They want it, and they know I want it. They know everyone else wants it, believe me. They've heard it. It's coming, just wait. But let's just say you want to get into a Mustang, Dark Horse or Shelby, but you want to go 9.5 consistently with an automatic transmission, and it's not going to be as finicky as the dual clutch is. Your best bet is a Dark Horse with the 10-speed. And you know, the new Coyote in the Dark Horse is the 4th generation one, and it's strong. I've heard it's got a lot of parts from this car that we're in right now. I mean, there's nothing better in the world that I would love to take my Mustang on some back roads like this and just not even go crazy hard. You can just cruise it, and it just goes so good with the roads. I don't have to push it to really have fun. What I mean, I can if I want to, and she'll get nasty real quick. You know, I really wish, I'm getting older now, not crazy old, but what worries me is like, some of you guys might be like, oh, it's kind of far-fetched, but I've always wanted to be a race car driver. And I feel like that's every car guy's dream, but like, no, like, there's a lot of guys that say it, but they'll never push the car to the edge of no return. I feel like it takes some cojones to do that, and it takes a person that can bring a car back from the point of no return. And to get in a car, dang, that guy almost crossed the line. To take a car from something, getting belt slip though, I can feel it. She's wanting to eat, but it's slipping on me a little bit. That's another thing I don't like about the GT500 is the belt slip issues. That is why we are going to go back to pump gas, and I'm probably going to get a green belt also, so it is going to be very consistent for me. That is another thing that bothers me about the Shelby, but a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility. But like I was saying, I've always wanted to be a real, like an actual driver for someone. I just don't. A lot of people get that nerve, and the nerve that comes with it of like, I don't know, like going fast doesn't scare me. There's nothing about being in a car that scares me, especially if I know I'm driving and I know I'm going to do everything in my power. Damn, bro, motorcycle guy leaning over the edge again. These guys got to be careful on motorcycles. I'm not even going fast. But there's just like, it's hard to explain. Like when I get into a car, my confidence level just goes up, and I just feel good. Like I just feel at home, I feel at peace. My facial expression doesn't change. I feel like my heart rate doesn't even change if I hit like 190 miles an hour. Like it doesn't even faze me anymore. I've been doing this so long, I can just get in a car and I can just go at it. Like I can just rip it. And I just wish one day, boys, I could get the opportunity to try that, because like I said, I am getting older, and this was like my only step in the right direction, was to do YouTube, along the lines of getting maybe hopes of someone wanting to sponsor me or wanting to do something along those lines of racing. But I know when it comes to competition and stuff and driving, and there's money on the line or there's something on the line, I'm going to do everything damned in my power to make sure I win. That's a fact. And I don't know if y'all can see this view. View is absolutely beautiful. I drive this road every single other day. Like I'm in love with it. It's freaking amazing. But yeah, like I was saying, it's just, I don't know, boys. I really wish I could get the opportunity to drive like that, and push a car and really get strapped into a vehicle and have like the safety gear on and go all out to the point of no return, where like, I don't know, just no return. That would be an absolute dream of mine to try that. What's up, boys? Bunch of little Honda guys back there. They're checking out the Shelby. Yeah, but like I was saying, honestly, I love this car, and I know a lot of GT500 guys are watching this because they're like, oh, is this guy gonna badmouth the Shelby? No, dude, I love Shelby. I just don't like, I mean, I had a little beef with Shelby America. They don't like me because I put the Italian flag on the roof, and that's understandable. I get that, but once I put the Italian flag on the roof of the Shelby, and I tried to go to Mustang Week, I know they don't like me because I tried to help promote the Shelby America event, and I messaged them a bunch of times, and I posted my Shelby in the group, and I was like, hey guys, I could probably get, I don't know, another 40, 50 GT500s out there down at Mustang Week, and they kept deleting my posts. So I know the Shelby guys at Shelby America don't like me, and if someone from Shelby America is watching this, I don't know why y'all deleted my post a few times. Nothing but love from my end. I just did the roof wrap just to kind of stand out and be unique, and obviously this is an American car, but it was just all for good fun, no disrespect at the end of the day. I love what Ford does, I love what Shelby does, I love what everything does with the Mustangs, and there's nothing wrong with this car, and I hope everyone that watched this video ends up actually getting a Shelby or a Dark Horse, because both of them are phenomenal cars. It really boils down to what you want to do with it. So if you like want to autocross it, you can't go wrong with either or. GT500 or Dark Horse. I could say you're probably going to eat up a lot more tires with the GT500 because the weight and power, that is definitely going to kill you right there. There's honestly so much good things to say about both cars at the end of the day, and these cars cars are like, these are my dream cars. I never have been like crazy fond about supercars. They never did it for me. Like, I don't know if y'all feel the same. Like, yeah, they look cool, the performance is cool, but there's not many cars like the Fords, or like obviously the Chevys and Dodges and stuff, but like that are capable of touching speeds of what these supercars can do and be turnkey running and driving 7 days a week. Not all supercars do that. I got a lot of friends, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. My uncle has a Ferrari. I have friends with McLarens, and they all tell me, they're like, Jake, you might get a McLaren that lives at the shop 6 months out of the year. That to me is wild. If I'm paying $250,000, $300,000 for a car, and y'all are gonna tell me it's gonna be broken at a shop for 6 months out of the year, and like I can't even really drive it or push it hard, and then just like the expense there's so much more, to me that never seems fun. To me it really doesn't. That's why I've always stuck with the Mustangs through and through. I would really like a C8 Z06 eventually down the road, and I can't believe I'm saying that because it's a Chevy. But at the end of the day, I support all American cars. If it's Dodge, Chevrolet, Ford, even Tesla. Tesla's an American car. I don't like the EVs at all, but you got to give credit where credit's due performance-wise. And, you know, they're unique cars. They're definitely, like, I wouldn't own one. I really wouldn't want one. I never had a desire to own one. But you look up some Nürburgring times. That wasn't a Hellcat. I was about to bust a U-turn. It wasn't. But they're fast. They are fast. Got to give it where credit's due. It has no soul in my opinion. There's no really effort into driving it. It's just a little RC car at the end of the day. That's all it is. There's nothing in this world that makes me feel more alive when the car breaks the tires loose in third gear and it just starts hazing and you're leaving 11s behind you on the road. That is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And you know, guys, I really didn't want to sell the Shelby. I don't have the garage space realistically, and like I told y'all about the property, that was my main focus, and I figured this car was going to be the best selling wise, and obviously I finished everything I did to this car, but I have some things in mind. We can change it up, we can do some different stuff with it. I mean, honestly, if y'all want me to throw the drift tires on this car and go swing it and go slide it around, I will. Y'all just in the comment section, let me know if you guys want to see a little drift video with the Shelby. I don't care. I want to make content for you guys. I want to have fun. I want to go racing. I want to do fun stuff. But yeah, that's what we need to take it to the next level. And I'm willing to do anything to make that happen. So y'all let me know in the comment section below. I love every single one of you guys. Road to 100K. I'm getting to 100,000 subscribers. If it's going to be the death of me, I have to do it. I'm on a mission from God. Get it done. Stein Racing Division. And that's that. So I want to take you up to this spot real quick on this road, and I want to show you how beautiful this car is just sitting next to the scenery. It's just one of my favorite cars. It really is. And I'm so blessed to have this car, and I thank every single one of you guys for watching this video. Before we go back to the house and pick up my other literally dream car, the Dark Horse, and I've gotten a lot of people to get the Dark Horse. I've, no joke, have probably sold, I'm not even exaggerating, probably 20 or more Dark Horses. Like, I've had guys hit me up and like, Jake, you made me pull the trigger on the Dark Horse. And it's everything you said and more. And I want you guys to feel the same way about the Shelby, because now's the time to buy a GT500. It really, really is. And a lot of you guys might be saying, Jake, the price are dropping. Why are they going to go back up? So people in an economy like this, they get scared with their money and they tend to sell stuff. I was trying to get at least what I thought was fair, 95, because you really can't build this car for that money. Like now, let's just say you buy one for 80 with 20,000 miles on it. Just doing PPF alone, you're going to spend bare minimum of 10,000. So you're at 90,000. Then you can't even port the blower and put a fuel system. You'll be at 95,000 just like that. Or even the wheels alone. So that's another part of me that says just keep the car. It's got 17,000 miles on it. It's a beautiful car. It's still brand new. Full PPF, full bolt-ons, everything. I can just turn it down and live with it for the next 5 years and enjoy it and use it for content on the channel. And you know what? I think that's just what we have to do. But the only thing that was killing me was just the insurance. Insurance went up also too when old Joe came into office, and yeah, it went up. I'm sure it went up for all you guys too. So that was also another factor. But And I don't want to lose on this car. And if you guys like content on it, you guys want to see me keep driving it, ripping it, I'll do it for you guys. So we're almost up to the spot that I want to show you how beautiful it is. It is honestly breathtaking, in my opinion, how nice it is. And the views are just endless here. If you guys really want to know the spot, follow me on Instagram, same as the YouTube, DM me, and I'll send you this location because I love it. I truly love it. Like, tell me this doesn't look like some GTA Grand Theft Auto shit right here. Like, just dropped off my Shelby up there, coming down here. Check out this little ravine. Look at this, dude. I'm gonna get a little jet boat or something out here we can bring out here to rip. But look how nice this is. Looks like I'm in a different world. So beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. But let's go. Time to go pick up the Dark Horse and go rip on that thing too. Good Lord. I mean, look how beautiful this thing is. I mean, I got you guys in 0.5, put you in 0.1, walking up to it. Sheesh. The wheels, everything about this car is just so good. Let me know what you guys like. Shelby GT500 or Dark Horse. The Dark Horse has gotten a lot of hate when it came out and stuff, because obviously compared to this car, everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're not even a comparison or whatnot. But to me, they really are. They are both very extremely well handling cars, but two different transmissions makes the cars feel totally different, in my opinion. I definitely want to check the belt just to make sure we're good before we drive all the way back home and go pick up the Dark Horse. We're gonna bring the Dark Horse to the same exact spot, probably another 30 minutes or so. But I just want to pop the hood, check on old girl. There's a few things I do want to change under here, and I'm about to tell y'all. Belt looks okay. You know, I don't want to really stick my hand too far in there. That thing's sizzling. Belt feels somewhat tight. You can see a little wear there. Not too bad, but you can also see the dust too. That's one thing you have to watch out for. There's a lot of dust in there. I clean that out all the time, but this Mishimoto coolant tank, it's got to go. The stains on that, if anyone has anything that could fix that, please let me know. Also, we're changing the shark here. I'm going to put the snake on there, and then we're going to change that because that just, it looks ugly in my opinion. Yeah, that's about it. That's really the only other few things I want to change. I should have took this off, but I put this back on just in case. The new owner, I did all that just to have it on the car and ready, but overall, dude, this car is awesome. I love this thing. It's honestly a blessing just to have an S550, a regular one, and to see and feel the top dog level of S550, because it's another level, guys. It really is. This is kind of like the peasant, I guess you could say, GTD in a sense, because it's not as crazy, but it's got the same motor. The engineer did tell me has the same motor, just a little bigger revolver. God, it feels good. God bless America. God bless Shelby. God bless Ford Performance. I love these cars, I really do, and I can't wait to go home and drive the Dark Horse. Like the crispness that comes with these cars. I don't even think that's a word. Crispness. Add it to the dictionary, boys. Call it in. Is my traction control like all the way off, dude? Sheesh. She sounds vicious. Brother. Homegirl's a little vicious, I'll tell y'all that. You better be on your P's and Q's when you're driving this. I'll tell you that, you better drink a bang, C4, get a good night's rest, and be on your toes. I mean, I was just dancing all the way to 4th gear on that one. Dancing. She was ice skating on me. Felt the ass end lift up a little bit. I said, hold up, wait a minute. Skirt. Correct it a little bit. Done. Over. Toyota's 888R's gripped up and we're good. That's why I got to turn the power down. 1,000 horsepower on these tires, on this car, on some 20s. That didn't work. They don't work like that. In the blower one, that's what I love about this car too. Over the Dark Horse, because it doesn't have a supercharger, but you could put a Whipple. But I fell in love with the manual. respect on the Dark Horse, and I really don't think I could drive a Dark Horse 10-speed anymore. That downshift is one of the most crisp downshift that will ever come out of a Mustang. Vicious big girl that loves to play with a big old blower. She's a little aggressive, she's a little nasty, she likes to fight back, she gets a little nasty on the big end for you too, but I mean, she's a good unit, she's a good car, one of the best cars, one of the best is the best S550s ever made. And you know, Mustang wise, S550 was the one that literally like won my heart. It really did. This one's it. So I don't know. I mean, it was gonna break my heart really to sell the Shelby. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have shed a few tears, but if you don't buy it, you don't buy it. So be it. I don't care. I don't need them. I'll just get a loan when Big Donnie comes back in office. The interest rates might be down, it might be a lot better. Who knows? It could work out for the best. Well, Padre is taking the Shelby for a little ride. I told him, go ahead, you're more than welcome. Make sure, my only request is, you got a beat on it for me. That's my only request. Take Zeus for a little ride, have some fun, enjoy it. Car looks beautiful. That's what they're about. They're made to be driven. Just sounds so nasty. Yeah, she's loud. She's so nasty. Well, let's get you guys on the tripod and fire up good old Dark Horse. God, that thing sounds deep. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. All right, Dark Horse. It's me and you now. Let's go for a little spin, brother. Cold starts with the Dark Horse, I think, are probably the best right next to the Shelby, just from how it starts popping. It's insane. Cold start, brother. Smack it to respect it. God bless America. Floor it. While the Dark Horse warms up for a bit, I got officially Apollo on the lift, looking good. We do have to fix the exhaust system. I might have to contact Corsa because there is a rattle coming from one of the exhaust systems. I don't know. They're not crazy old, but yes, I've raced it a lot, so I'm going to mess with it a bit when we get back. Get the car ready for the ESS, and that is the goal. It's going to be pretty sick. I cannot wait to feel the 10-speed boosted. I think this car is going to be another animal. Like I said, if you guys missed it, we're shooting for the fastest ESS G3X in the entire world. That box over there is the intercooler upgrade and the blow-off valve upgrade from ESS, so we can turn up the boost all the way. And yeah, hopefully the car will be at the shop by the end of this week, maybe middle of the week. We'll drop it off, and then I'm going to go down to the shop, help them work on the car. We do need brakes. I'm going to have them address the brakes because the brakes are not the hottest. Front to rear, they are a little heat-soaked, or not heat-soaked, or heat-spotted, glazed, whatever you want to call it, Krispy Kreme. They got the workout, and yeah, let's jump in the Dark Horse. Let me know what you guys think of this beast right here. Let's go take it for a spin. All right, baby, we are in the Dark Horse right now. And this car just handling, and just the way the Tremec is, there's something special about the Dark Horse and the Shelby. I don't know how well you can see me. I am getting absolutely zooted by the sun right now. The sun is in my eyelid. Yes, sir. Watch out, little bird. About to plow you with a Mustang. Get out of the way, pigeon. I feel like pigeons are fake. The way they're in the road sometimes, I'm like, brother, how was that? Why are you in the road? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that, boys. It really doesn't. And the reason I have to be honest with y'all is because, one, I love you. Two, I'm not going to lie to you. And I love the Shelby and I love the Dark Horse, but if you want my honest opinion, something just about the Dark Horse just feels more refined. And I think that might have to do with just the power difference. I think the power difference is kind of making the Shelby feel a little unsettled or like uneasy in the sense of it's so much power more going through the drivetrain. It's going to make connected the suspension to a lot more weird stuff. I'm trying to take the corners because I'm on the same exact roads. I'm trying to take them at the same speed relatively. Trying to monitor that. Nothing crazy fast, but just enough to where I can feel the car, I can feel how direct it is, I can feel how well it feels planted. All of the above. Gotta be honest. The downshifts on the dark horse with the red matching, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And that is another reason why I love driving this car. This car, to me, feels more driver-oriented, and also another thing to mention, it feels like I have more visibility. In the Shelby, I kind of notice I'm kind of like sitting up a lot, or at least trying to, in the sense of to try to keep my vision everywhere. It has a lot to do with the hood also. The hood is relatively big, and I got rid of the Recaros, so they're actually sitting. What is this guy doing, brother? What are you doing, brother? Thank you, sir. He let me go because he knew I'm gonna rip it. I love this thing. Took it out yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. Beat the living snot out of this thing yesterday. It was, old girl took a beating. To be real with you guys, I actually put more miles on the dark horse than I have the GT500. So I got the Shelby around like 9,800, 9,500 miles, I believe. That's, if I can remember correctly, it was about to hit 10,000. And now we're at 17,300 and some change. Dark horse, we're gonna be hitting 10,000 very, very soon. We're at 90, a little more than 9,300 miles on the dash. That's crazy in my opinion. I've been like genuinely like off camera, I'll go drive the car and not even film it and just absolutely rogue gears, beat the living crap out of it, and it's just an awesome car to drive. It's so, I want to say the dark horse is just higher quality stuff, which it makes it feel like a better car. Like I know there's a lot of carb underneath the body panels. That's a lot for road noise. It just feels like a higher class of a car, that 650. It just feels more premium in the sense of like, wow, like if you probably got two people that didn't know absolutely anything about the dark horse or the Shelby GT500, and you sat them in both cars and you asked them which one felt better, better material, just better all around, I guarantee you 99% of people are going to say the dark horse, and that would be off just like feeling and likeliness and just how everything is so put together. That's what I must say about that 650. That, the quality, interior, exterior, the inside, the leathers, the dash, everything just feels a lot plush. It's a lot more premium. It's a lot well put together. The tone of the exhaust with the headers, the X-pipe from Steeda, it's honestly just a perfect tone. And like I said before, it's a unique sound that you don't get out of a regular Gen 3 Coyote. You really don't. Apollo doesn't sound nothing like this. And I love the 10-speed to death, but there's something like I prefer driving the dark horse or the GT500 over a regular 10-speed GT, just because the 10-speed is a lot more clunky. It's not as like certain sometimes when it's shifting. Sometimes it wants to gear hunt, but with a good tuner like mine, Revolution Automotive, it will get rid of a lot of that stuff. And we went through the car a lot. The red matching, perfect, absolutely perfect. Every time I red match, I look around and someone's like, their jaws drop, just because the sheer tone, it's beautiful. It's like honestly breathtaking. And you know, believe it or not, after driving both cars, the red gets a lot of attention for the Shelby wise, and a lot of people will stop me with the dark horse and they'll ask me what the car is, because they don't really, it looks like a Mustang in a sense, but a lot of people that are like new, I guess, to them or the cars, they're like, what is that? Like, because the emblems, I guess the emblems are throwing them off, because the only actual Mustang badge, there's only one on the car, and it's on the front grille, but it's so blacked out, most people really don't recognize it or see it right off the bat. I'm gonna say this, owning both these cars made me appreciate the dark horse a lot more, because in my eyes, the GT500 looks like a much high caliber of a car. It looks like that should absolutely disintegrate the dark horse and everything. And just from the looks, the appearance, the way it sits, and you know, it's hard for me to say this, but I think if the GT500 was naturally aspirated, and the dark horse obviously is naturally aspirated, I think the dark horse would absolutely destroy the GT500. That's just me. It hasn't been done, but that's just my honest opinion from owning both. The braking wise, stability wise, the way the car feels planted, it feels more sophisticated. I have more confidence going into corners at high speed versus the GT500. start to shimmy just a little bit. You get a different type of feel. You get to know the car. You get to feel the car. But like I was saying before with the Shelby when I was in Zeus, it's all really preference of what you want. I know the dealers are not going to let you drive these cars or go test drive them. Maybe a used Shelby GT500 if you get a cool dealer. That bike looks sick, brother. That thing looked dope. But I'm trying to give you guys the best impression I can in case you guys want to buy a Dark Horse or a GT500. And I must say this to touch back on the pricing of stuff. The S650s did go up 6,000 or 8,000. I think it's 8,000. I did check earlier, but I just keep drawing a blank. I want to say 8,000. I'm almost positive because Brandon was the one that was telling me. So I was like, you know what? It might be a good time because my Dark Horse technically went up in value in the sense of thinking about it, because if mine went up 8,000, so that means my car is almost an $80,000 car, which I paid 71 tax out the door, which changes the game of things. So if you can get a car right now, Dark Horse, for the same price mine is, I'd say jump on it. I really do say jump on it. About getting a GT350 at one point. I do love the Voodoo. I always want to experience the Voodoo, but I've heard so many horror stories with the Voodoo, and I don't know, I'm always a little nervous about stuff like that. I wouldn't want to blow up a $30,000 engine, but if I have to, I have to. The Coyote, best engine ever made in my opinion. One thing, like I was saying before, you'll unsettle yourself in the Dark Horse if you're not very good with the manual. You need to know where to downshift, where to upshift, so you're going into the corners a lot more planted, and you don't mess up the body language of the car, because that's one of the biggest things you got to keep in mind. So you unsettle this car going out in and out of a turn, that is when you crash, and that's when I see most people lose it. So you got to be in the correct gear. You got to be confident going into the corner, and just pray to baby Jesus tires grip up. Before I close out today's video though, I'm going to give y'all one extremely hard rip in the Dark Horse. First to fourth, you guys know, maybe top of third. Depends on the space. But you know, I got to rip it. I got to do it for the boys. Boys, drop a W in the chat. Drop a thumbs up on today's video. Let me know what you guys are taking. Would you take the Dark Horse, Shelby GT500? Reasons why. Both are awesome cars, but like I was saying before, it all comes down to preference. I wish you guys could be in the cars experiencing them with me. I try to put it in words best for y'all to describe and what they really do. I mean, these cars are phenomenal cars. Both of them, at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with either or. There is a price difference between the two, so if you're a little on the cheaper side, you can get a Dark Horse, manual or auto, and if you want it to be fast like a Shelby GT500, you can actually spend the $10K and be at $80,000 and have the Whipple with warranty, or go Shelby GT500 right off the rip, dual clutch transmission, awesome transmission, absolutely awesome. I don't like it for drag racing. If you want to drag race, it's a little finicky, but it can do it. It's 9-second cable, Zeus went 9s. I wanted to get a little faster, but transmission is just so finicky to the point where I don't really want to even keep trying with the car. It just doesn't feel the best in my opinion. But yeah, let's close out this video the right way with a proper send. That's how it's done, baby. God bless America. Love you all. Subscribe. Road to 100K. Catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.